welcome back our dear viewers. As promised earlier, we are going to talk today about this very special event that we are celebrating today, which is the new Hijri year. The new Hijri year is a commemoration. It's the anniversary of the Hijra, or the migration of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his followers and friends from Mecca to Medina after being tortured by the people of Mecca who were rejecting the new religion of Islam. To shed more light on that topic, we are very much delighted to have our dear guest, Dr. Ismail Hamid. He is a researcher in the Islamic. Good morning, sir, and thank you very much for being with us. And Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, sir, and Happy New Year. Sir, would you please tell us about the time before the appearance of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the hijrah from Mecca to Medina?
Yes, good morning for everybody. I'm very happy to be with you on such special occasion for all the Muslims. And at the beginning, I would like to congratulate all the Muslims in every part in the world of such a great occasion for us. Surely that Prophet Muhammad appeared in a very hard time in Arabia. He was born in 570, and it was on the year of the elephant, and it is said on the Arabic tradition. Before that time, we know that the Arabs, they were divided in tribes and clans, and they were disputed with each other. It's a time of Bedouin people that they were living on the desert, so we can imagine such life like this, more struggles, more disputes between clans, even for any naive thing or very simple reason that we can find a war, even for a donkey, that there was a war that spent for 40 years for just one donkey. We have lots of things like this. No respect for women. They killed the young daughters when they were alive because of that shame. So they were dispersed. So just a very bad image for the Arabs. But Mecca itself, it was a holy city even from that time, where the first mosque of Abraham that was built there, it was nearly 2,000 years before the birth of Prophet Muhammad. So the Arabs from all around in order for commerce, exchanging trades and commerce, and also for the holy mosque there in order to pilgrim there. It is the season of pilgrims. Also, there are some cultural activities that happen there, like souk, okaz, and different things that happened. But also, it was very dark like the Arabs. So when Prophet Muhammad was born, 570, so we have lots of things about his life, but nearly from the beginning of his message. From the message, we know that when he became 40 years, so started the revelation of Allah to Muhammad when he was on the mount or on the cave of Ghar Hira. So he had the revelation of Allah for Quran when Angel Gabriel, he came to him and then started the message for him. The whole message of Prophet Muhammad, it was about 23 years. That is for the whole time of the message. We have 13 years that they were in Mecca. So 10 years or it was before the migration to Medina, and 10 years that Prophet Muhammad spent in Medina. We have big difference between the life of Prophet in Mecca and the life of Prophet in Medina, and we have lots of changes for the life of the Muslims before and after that. Also, for us, we have not only one migration of the Muslims. We have two migrations.
Yes.
So one of the highest possession of a companion of Prophet, the one that he made the two migrations. The first migration, it was to Ethiopia or to Abyssinia.
Yes, of
okay?
course.
And even for Ethiopia itself, the migration there, we have the first one that was during the 5th year of the message, or after the message of Prophet Muhammad, when there were more tortures and persecutions for the Muslims during that time. So Prophet Muhammad was not ordered even to defend himself and to defend the companions. So he ordered them to find a new land where a just king there, that he was living, the king Ethiopia, the Nagashi, as we know. So even for during the 6th year of the message, another more torture and persecution happened to the Sahaba and companions. So Prophet Muhammad ordered again for the other people to go to migrate to Ethiopia for another time. So it was during the 6th year. If also we talk about the 7th year, it was another of danger for Prophet Muhammad, because it was the time of the boycott of the Quraishites, that they boycotted the family of Hashim, and so they also surrendered them on the mountain or Sha'b of Bani Hashim on the mounts of Mecca for 3 years, that they were there isolated on this part, no exchange, no treatment, and they bought on the Kaaba, that is for the letter of boycotting the Muslims and even for the whole tribes of Bani Hashim. So they spent there till the 10th year of Prophet Muhammad, or the 10th year of the message of Prophet. That is the year of sadness.
Yes, of course.
It just happened that they were released of such boycott. That happens two sad occasions for Prophet Muhammad. That was the death of Abu Talib, and just a few weeks or months after, 3, 4, depends the tradition, that his wife was dead, Khadija. So it was a very hard time of Prophet Muhammad, because the persecution of the disbelievers of Mecca, that became more stronger and more violent against the Prophet Muhammad, because most of the companions, they were in Abyssinia. So just with Prophet Muhammad and Abu Bakr and some other companions, that they cannot defend themselves. Yeah. So what happens for him? So he wanted to find another supporters to him. So he went to a Taif. Taif is about 60 kilometers from Mecca. He walked by his feet with just his servant Zayd ibn Harisa, and then he went there to call them for Islam and to teach them what about Islam and principles of the religion and all this. And just short time, the leaders of Taif or Saqif, they also they treated the Prophet in a very bad way, and also they told their young boys and all through Prophet Muhammad by the stones and his servant. So it was very hard time again for Prophet, that he wanted to find a protection, and another persecution happened to him even from Taif, 60 kilometers from Mecca. So when he was out of this place, was frustrated, very tired of what happens. So Angel Gabriel, he came to him, and the angel of mountains. So Angel Gabriel, and surely even before the coming of the angels, Prophet Muhammad, he prayed Allah with supplications which is very sensitive for anyone. اللهم أشكو إليك ضعف قوتي وقلة حيلتي وهواني على الناس يا رب العالمين يا رب المستضعفين إلى من تكلوني إلى بعيد يتجهمني أم ملكته أمري إن لم يكن بك علي غضب فلا أبالي لك العتب حتى ترضى ولك العتب إذا رضيت ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Just he spent for a moment, and then Gabriel, he came with the angel of mountain, and he told him, Muhammad, Allah sent to you the angel of mountains, and if you order, will bulverse the mountains of Mecca over these people, we can do this.
Yes.
So even he has a power now. If he can revenge the disbelievers of Mecca and the disbelievers of Taif, he can do this. But just we have a great lesson of Prophet Muhammad, who has his during that time. He said that may Allah gave of their descendants a one who said La ilaha illallah. So he had a great mercy, and during that time, or at the end of this year, that was the heavenly trip to and that was a great miracle that in Islam, and Isra wal Mi'raj. It was at the end of the 10th year. So after that, it was the beginning of the season of pilgrimage. He started Prophet Muhammad to meet the clans and tribes that they came for exchanging during that season, and he called the people for Islam, and so some other people came. So during that time, we started the beginning of the immigration to Mecca. So all that we said, that just an introduction of the meaning of Hijrah after that.
Indeed, sir.
Sir, what are the most important lessons learned from the migration from Mecca to Medina?
Okay. So just before the migration of Prophet, we have two great events, Bayat al-Aqaba al-Ula, okay, and Bayat al-Aqaba al-Thaniya, between Prophet Muhammad and the people of Medina. And then he started the road for the migration of Prophet, and he sent the companion Mus'ab ibn Umayr in order to be the teacher for them to teach the people in Medina about Islam, and this to be ready for his migration. And then that happened surely, that the great event also that we know, that during the night of migration, that these believers, they sent 10 strong guys from 10 big clans or tribes of Quraysh to surround the house of Prophet Muhammad, to kill him during that night. And we know the story, and Allah protected him and saved him. And then he went to Abu Bakr and he got them, told him that Allah ordered me to migrate now. And before this migration of Prophet Muhammad himself, most of the companions, they migrated to Medina, and they started a new life for them there. So when they make the big risk also between the road from Mecca to Medina, we talk about more than 500 kilometers, they walked this also, and they were followed also by the disbelievers. They want to get him, to catch him, or to kill him wherever he go. So Allah protected him and saved him during his way there. When he went to Medina, so he found all the people, they were waiting him, and they were happy to receive Prophet Muhammad and to welcome him. And that started for a new life for the Muslim. And the migration for us, not just at the beginning of the calendar of the Muslims, but it is a great meaning, because it is a transit time between the time of weakness of the Muslims. It was the time in Medina, in Mecca, 13 years of weakness, of persecution, of torture, and the migration after that, a great lesson of it, that is the foundation of the Islamic State, but the real Islamic State. Because now, surely that we abuse the meaning of what is called now the Islamic State of Daesh, surely that it's a false state. We cannot by any way that relate Islam with such a state like this, with such killers and such terrorists that they kill the people by any reason. Because if we look at the life of Prophet Muhammad and the foundation of a real Islamic state there in Medina, I think that we have a great difference. Just after the arrival of Prophet Muhammad, he made a fraternity between the Ansar and Muhajirin. Okay, the Ansar, that the people that of Medina, and Muhajirin, the migrants that they were companions of Prophet that migrated before him, and this to be united. Also, he sent to the Jews that they were living there a pact of safety. So that is Ahd Aman. Okay, that Prophet Muhammad, he gave the Jews that they were living there, that you are safe in your homes, and that you are protected. You have what we have of duties, and you have also the of what we have of rights. That is the same. It is a great image of citizenship, and also the to have one patriotism between all the people. So that was a great event, surely, and a great meaning of this, because in Medina we have lots of districts that they were for the Jews, or the Jewish district. We have Banu Qaynuqa, Banu Nadir, Banu Qurayza, we have Banu al-Mustalik, we have Khaybar outside Medina. Prophet gave all of them a safety for their lives, for their beliefs, faith, and for children, for everything. That is the meaning for us, a great. If we compare what we have now of these killers, okay, Daesh. Yeah. So look, so they don't give anyone any kind of safety, any kind of security for himself. Now they kill anyone, even that is a Muslim or non-Muslims. Anyone that does not support them, he should be killed. So what is the meaning this in Islam? What kind of traditions in Islam that is telling us to kill the people that they don't have the same belief or the same faith or the same attitude that we have? So surely that this is a different image of the real Islamic state. Surely we have lots of other lessons of the migration of Prophet Muhammad.
Yes. Dr. Ismail, why Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did choose Medina to migrate to?
Because lots of starts before the migration, that people came during the season of pilgrimage from Medina or Yathrib in order to make the pilgrimage, and also for trading. Okay, at that time Prophet Muhammad, he met lots of them. And something very strange of this point, that the Jews in Medina, they told the people of Medina or Yathrib that this time it is a time of a prophet. That is before the birth of Prophet Muhammad. They told them that in our books we have tradition that telling us it is a time of the last prophet, and that prophet will appear sooner as it is, okay? And when he appears, we will follow him. So the Jews, they told the people of Yathrib that it is a time of a prophet. So when Prophet Muhammad appeared and he started his message, people of Medina, that they have an idea about the new prophet. So believe that he is a faithful man and he has a right religion that the Jews, they told about. So when they heard about this, so lots of people, they went to Mecca in order to meet this prophet, to hear his teachings and the principles and what he is calling for. So that was make it a very easy way for the spreading of the new religion. So we are astonishing that even the Jews, that they have a great role for the spreading of Islam from Mecca to Medina, because they made a big background for the people there, that a time of a new prophet and we will follow him. But the Jews, that they were shocked about this, because when he was an Arab prophet, they believed that he was an Israeli prophet. So they hated Prophet Muhammad, and so they started the struggle. But when he became very strong, when he came with big companions there in Medina, so they should have good relation with him. But they started to plot against Prophet Muhammad, so he was obliged in order to drive them out of Medina. So also this was another point of the migration, because with the tolerance, with the respect of Prophet Muhammad with the Jews, but they did not respect the pact and the covenant that they had between each other. So Prophet Muhammad was obliged to put them out of Medina, because they plotted against him and they wanted to kill the Prophet Muhammad himself.
Right. Doctor, what's the difference between migration or hijrah to Medina and earlier to Habasha?
Surely that there is a big difference, okay? Habasha or Abyssinia, it was in early time of the message of Prophet, okay? The number of they were a small number of people. Also, Prophet Muhammad, he has his family or the tribe of Bani Hashim, that they supported him and protected him. But also, he was not ordered to defend himself, so he asked his companions to go to Abyssinia or to Al-Habasha. But after the death of Abu Talib and Sayyidah Khadija, so it was a hard time of Prophet Muhammad. There were no protectors for him. The time was very hard for Prophet Muhammad. So what he can do? If he's still in Mecca, so he had supporters to protect him, so he could be killed at this time. But because during the time of the migration to Abyssinia, that he has his tribes, and he was very strong, and his uncle Abu Talib was a great supporter to him. But after his death, so the time became very harder to Prophet Muhammad, so he was obliged to leave Mecca to go to Medina.
Indeed, Dr. Ismail Hamid, the expert and researcher in the Islamic studies, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for delivering this message about the real image of Islam, which has been tarnished by these terrorist elements who are using Islam as a pretext for their crimes. Thank you very much, and have a very happy New Year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Mahesti. Dear ladies and gentlemen, with this we wrap up this edition of The Breakfast Show. Happy Hijri Islamic New Year to all of you.